Hello, I am back from my hiatus. Um, yeah, um, I've been gone for like a week or two. Um, the reasons for that is because not gonna lie, I forgot that I made these, cause I make all my what ifs on my laptop, and I haven't been on my laptop in a long time. Then I opened it, I was like, oh yeah, I made this. I should probably continue it. So yeah. Also, I've been really lazy. Yeah, that has a lot to do with it. I've just been really lazy. Anyway, I am back, and I am going to try to post, um, weekly. If I don't post weekly, I'll probably post every other week. It depends on how I'm feeling. So, yeah, this is What If Naruto Kept the Scholar Ceiling, Part 3. Now, I'm going to be going over the tuning exams from part 1. I'm going to be going over the tuning exams from the initial stages all the way to the end of the Forest of Death. And so, yeah. But before I do that, I need to say a couple things first. Thank you for the increase of views. That's been very lovely. Didn't think that any more than 2 people besides myself would actually watch this, so thank you for that. And thank you for the 3 subscribers. And if you look on my channel, it's gonna say I have 5 subscribers. Yeah, that's from my cousin, so I don't count that since I know who subscribed to me. But to the 3 people I don't know who subscribed to me, thank you for the subs. It's really appreciated. And now, I'll get into it. But first, I know you've been dying to watch the third part. I just need to go over all the jutsu in the scroll. Now, all the jutsu in the scroll are the things all the things Naruto knows how to do. All the things Naruto knows how to do. And I made it so that, and if you remember from one of my previous parts, I've said that Itokage keeps putting more secret jutsu inside the scroll, and I'm gonna play off of that. So here are all the jutsu that Hashirama put in the scroll that Naruto knows how to use. Those being Wood Style, Wood Golem, Wood Dragon Jutsu, Wood Clone Jutsu, Wood Style Deep Forest Emergence, where just a bunch of trees come out of the ground. Excuse me for a second. I apologize for that. Anyway, yeah, Wood Style Deep Forest Emergence, Wood Style Wood Binding Jutsu. This is where wood binds a target and saps away the chakra. It could go to the extent where the user fully suppresses and seals away the target's chakra. Hashirama's Sage Mode, and Summoning Jutsu Gate Weapons of the Great Gods. What are the weapons that Hashirama summoned when he was fighting Madara? The weapons are a giant shuriken, Hashirama's 2 long swords, a spear, and a really long and big detailed sword. Now the things that Tobirama put in, the second Hokage, things that he put in were the multi-cyclone jutsu, the basics of Flying Raijin Slash, Reanimation Jutsu, Reaper Death Seal, Water Style Explosive Bio's Water Dragon, which is Tobirama's ultimate jutsu in Storm 4. I'd put that on the screen, but I forgot to do that, so yeah. Well, he put Water Style Massive Water Vortex Jutsu, the Water Style Aqua Mirror, and if you don't remember, Yagura used this move. He basically makes an aqua mirror, and when he puts it down, whatever's in the reflection of that mirror, an exact copy will come out of it. Yeah. Tobirama also put Tandem Paper Bomb, which is his second ultimate jutsu in Storm 4. But for me to explain, Tobirama throws a paper bomb and makes multiple clones of that bomb, and he can turn regular pieces of paper into paper bombs and make clones of those. I'm not sure if that's actually what it does, but that's my definition at least. And Infinite Darkness Jutsu, which is just a Genjutsu. Now the jutsu that he was input into it were the Shuriken Expansion Jutsu. Just think of expansion jutsu, but instead of on a person, it's a instead of on a person, it's on a shuriken. Fire style giant dragon flame bombs. He used this against Edo, Hashirama, Tobirama, and Orochimaru. Excuse me. And for Hiruzen, I added original jutsu, and they're pretty long. So let me just do that. Since Hiruzen said to know all 5 basic chakra natures, I made him have a very powerful jutsu for each chakra nature. For fire, it was giant dragon flame bombs. For water, it's water style, massive downpour jutsu. This jutsu cast a great mist like the hidden mist jutsu, and Wayne then then falls down from the sky. This extends to at most 1 million kilometers. Yeah. The user can control all the rain within the mist and can teleport in between it. For Earth style, it's Earth style mud dome jutsu. The user creates a dome made out of a layer of stone, then mud, then stone, then mud again, and then stone once more. Anyone in this gets the chakra sapped really fast and gets the chakra sapped out of them really fast. Any jutsu that gets used inside of the dome will go right back to them with twice the force. Wind style, massive Gale-Storm Blast. This jutsu allows the user to gain wind from the sky and then wrap it around their arm. The user can then release a jutsu as a spear, a massive breakthrough, and in a blast. It's used as a blast most of the time. And lightning style, electrical dead shock. Basically Kirin, but on steroids. The user does the same body movements that firebenders use to generate lightning. Anyone that tries to come near the user will get a pretty good shock no matter who they are. Once the user is done, they will shoot the lightning at the target. The lightning shocks them for about 5 seconds before it wraps around the user, and a lightning bolt 10 times the size of Kirin and 20 times the power. The lightning, known as dead shock, then falls down on the target with 30 to 70 times the impacting force, depending on how much chakra and killing intent they have in the jutsu. Excuse me for one moment. Yeah, sorry about that. And the next thing Hiruzen has in here is Shadow Possession Jutsu. Let me explain. Hiruzen is said to know how to use the abilities of the Nara, Yamanaka, and Akamichi clans, or Shikamaru's abilities, Ino's abilities, and Choji's abilities. He's said to be able to use those, and since those are pretty powerful jutsu, I don't understand why he wouldn't put it in the School of Ceiling. So Shadow Possession Jutsu, Shadow Strangle Jutsu, and Shadow Stitching Jutsu, which are spikes made from shadows. From the Akamichi clan, he knows Partial Expansion Jutsu, and Super Expansion Jutsu. And from the Yamanaka clan, it's Mind Transfer Jutsu and Mind Destruction Jutsu. Now, these are the jutsu put in by Minato for Fukage. The Rasengan, the first 4 gates, while Minato couldn't use those, I don't understand why he wouldn't put such a powerful yet dangerous technique in the school. The basics of Toad Sage mode, and finally, gravity seals. If you watch any anime or whatever, you should know what they are, but if you don't, these are seals that increase the gravity on specific parts of your body or your whole body in general. They can go up to any number as long as the user can handle it and can put the right amount of chocolate into the seals. Yeah, these are all things Naruto knows. He didn't use it during the Land of Waves because he didn't know it. But now he knows. How does he know these? I'm going to explain that. And with that explanation out of the way, it's about time we go into the chapter. I'm currently at 9 minutes and 27 seconds and counting. This is going to be one of my longest videos. That's nice. Anyway, Chapter 4, the tuning exams, Part 1. Team 7 gets back to the Leaf to discover that they only have about 2 weeks or so before the upcoming tuning exam starts. Sasuke goes off to train, and Sakura, seeing how Naruto has changed immensely in strength, she goes to Kunai for training on her Genjutsu. She thinks that she might be able to catch up to them if she does the extra training. Not that much, but the training he's done has been slightly noticeable. Naruto is training hardcore. Before, Naruto could only do some of the first and second Hokage jutsu in one of the doors, like I said earlier. But now, he can use everything from Hashirama, Tobirama he was in, and he's starting to learn some of Minato's. By the time he meets the Sand Trio, he is getting the mid-level Flying Rising down. And, that's where all the jutsu I just mentioned, that's all the jutsu he learned over this 2-week time period. Anyway, once Naruto has gotten the right level on his gravity seals, he walks up to meet Konohamaru. But when he sees him, he sees a weird guy dressed in all black with strange purple markings on his face. The guy in black is holding Konohamaru by the scarf. Naruto then says, "Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing?" The guy then looks at him and is like, "Well, this kid bumped into me, so I'm teaching him a lesson. You got a problem with that? Then you can take him from me. If you can, that is," he says with a grin. But as someone in the trees is about to interrupt, Naruto teleports behind this guy, nothing personal, I love saying that, with a kunai at his neck and makes two clones. One of them goes to the girl that's with him, and the other one goes to the guy standing in the tree. All the Naruto start pressing the kunais to their necks. This not only draws blood, but it also starts absorbing the chakra. This, however, makes the guy in the tree drop down. The kunai was able to penetrate through his sand and just slightly cut his neck. The guy in black reveals that the person in the trees was named Gao from the Sandverse. Excuse me. Gao has just realized he started bleeding and does the thing he did in the anime where he screams that he's bleeding. He's like, "My blood, I'm bleeding!" Man, that's never gotten a paper cut before. Anyway, the people nearby start running away while people that could the people nearby start running away while people that were closer to the sound, while people that far away from the sound got terrified. The girl is now shaking while the guy is back. I don't know why speaking is so hard for me. I apologize. Let me restart that entire sentence. The people nearby start running away while people that could only hear get terrified. The girl is now shaking while the guy in black is inches away from running away. Naruto could sense the chakra welling up inside of Gaara and he acts quickly. He uses wood binding and pours Gaara into the ground. He then drags him from underneath the ground all the way to the Hokage's office. There he makes a clone to appear on the seal he left on Hiruzen, which quickly catches him up on the situation. Hiruzen watches down and tells her, "Will Naruto to bring Gaara out of the ground." Hiruzen then suppresses the seal on him even more, and now Gaara is knocked out. If you couldn't tell, Hiruzen suppressed the seal on Gaara even more. So the seal is still unstable. It's not unstable by that much. Gaara's still gonna go berserk during the tuning exams, but he has just the smallest bit of control now. The other two people with Gaara had followed them, and they revealed that they were Tamari, which was the girl, and Conqueror, which was the guy in black, and that they were his siblings. Hiruzen reassured them that Gaara would be awake in time for the second stage of the tuning exams. Then he tells Naruto to go meet up with his team since they should be ready to go to where the exams take place. And he tells the Sand Trio to go to the sensei. They all comply and they go off. Naruto meets back with Team 7 and they head off to the exam building. Well, guess that's where I end off the video. Nah, I'm kidding. Like I said in the beginning, I'm ending when the preliminary rounds are about to begin. Anyway, once they get in the building, they almost instantly feel the stares at them. People have heard that Naruto not only knows pretty powerful jutsu, but he is also carrying the executioner's blade on his back. Excuse me. Blade on his back, so that's kind of hard to miss. They notice a genjutsu on the door, but they don't say anything since they want to have the advantage. But as they are about to enter the room, a strange person blocks their view and says, "You are Naruto's Uzumaki, correct?" He nods. Well then, I am Wakui and I challenge you to a fight. Please fight me. He turns to Sakura and says, you, pink-haired girl, I'll protect you with my life. I swear it. Please date me. Before Sakura could answer, Naruto pulls Lee to the side and just tells him that he wouldn't want to go for her, and that he should trust him on this. He really should trust Naruto on that. Anyway, Naruto then agrees to the fight and they head off somewhere, with the other four following to watch. The rest of Team 7 and the rest of Team Nagaya, those four being. Lee only asks for Naruto to only use Taijutsu and nothing else. Naruto agrees and they begin to fight. Naruto dashes at Lee and tries to sweep kick him. I will be back. Yeah, sorry about that. If you could hear my house phone started ringing, so I had to, stop the recording. And, if you hear any background noise, like I said at the beginning, it is my cousin or something. Or it might be my sister singing. I don't know. Anyway, where was I? Okay. Naruto dashes at Lee and tries to sweep kick him. Lee jumps and kicks Naruto in the face, but his foot goes through Naruto's face, and then he feels a brief pain on his back before he jumps away. Naruto would have gotten a good shot if Lee didn't sense the kick coming. Lee's other teammate, Tenten, says, "Hey, what do you think you're doing? Lee specifically said no ninjutsu or again. Calm down, Tenten." A new voice said. It was the person standing next to her. His name was Neji. Naruto didn't use any type of clone, and this was no losing. Naruto is just that fast. Tetsun is shocked that anyone can be faster than Lee. Now, I'm saying this because, if I'm remembering correctly, not one point in the anime did Lee ever run so fast that he left an after image. But, if I'm incorrect, just tell me that in the comments. And how much I'm a fake Naruto fan. Anyway, Sasuke has somehow, in some way, being the emo he is, managed to have a smirk and a frown on his face at the same time. He's smirking because he is surprised that anyone that knows Naruto wouldn't know his speed, but he's frowning because he wanted to fight Lee and thought that if he were in Naruto's place, that the kick would have landed with no difficulty. Excuse me. Yes, I'm saying that after all Sasuke's seen, he still thinks that he's better than Naruto in some way. Sakura is confused and she asks out loud, "Wait, what? What happened? How were the two Narutos without using any jutsu?" Sasuke answers and says Naruto's moving at such a fast rate that he's creating after images. Like I said before, Sakura is surprised. She knew he was fast, but so fast he's making after images? For the rest of the fight, she unconsciously pays more attention to Naruto and his speed. Sasuke is trying to keep up with two fast people, so he unlocks the two-tomo Sharingan. He unlocks the two-tomo in his Sharingan. Anyway, Lee is about to dash at Naruto before he appears right behind Lee and puts him into an arm lock. Naruto then says, "Surrender now. This fight is over. I don't think the person watching would approve of you getting faster, I'll say." Lee is angry, but more confused than anything. He didn't know that guy was watching the fight to see if Lee opened any gates. Naruto reassures Lee by saying that the sensei isn't here, but someone that is able to have him get there very easily is watching. Just then, a talking tortoise comes out and says, "Lee, you did good for who you were up against. But for the next time, try not to get so pissed that you think the only way you can win is for you to use that, okay?" Naruto goes back to his usual self and screams, "Whoa, is that Toto talking?" The way I put it in the script, it's hilarious. I put the word turtle in lowercase letters, while everything else in the sentence is all caps. So in the script it says, "Whoa, is that turtle talking?" I don't know, that's just funny to me. Anyway, then guy comes out in a puff of smoke on top of the tortoise in a weird pose. Guy and Lee then go on about the flames of youth and run off on their hands with streams of tears coming out of their eyes. Neji intends to follow pursuit, but not before Neji mentions that he wants to fight Naruto and Sasuke. Since Sasuke has a Sharingan, he wants to see which Dojutsu is better. I know Sharingan stops Byakugan, but still gotta give him a reason to want to fight Sasuke. And we should all know why he wants to fight Naruto. Team 7 then goes to the room where the exams are taking place, and as soon as they get in the room, the stairs they felt when they walked into the building were amplified by about 30. But there was another factor to these stairs. It was bloodlust. The fact of the matter is that not only have people heard of Naruto's abilities that are said to be the same as the first few Hokage, but the people in the room also know who Zabuza is and the fact that Naruto has a sword. Needless to say, they want to see the strength for someone who apparently beat Zabuza. Tamari and Kankuro are also in the room, and they ask a guy in all purple that's from the Sound Village named Kabuto about the info on Naruto. And Kabuto reveals the info. Everyone watching is shocked. The card says he's completed 15 D ranks, 25 C ranks, and 1 A rank. And he also got the legendary Zabuza Mimoti, one of the 7 Swordsmen of the Mist. He's also got the legendary Zabuza Mimoti, one of the 7 Swordsmen of the Mist sword, the Executioner's Blade. My bad about that. And the card proceeds to state that Naruto knows a lot of A and S rank jutsu. So now basically the entire room is aware of Naruto's power. I cannot speak, my goodness. When the written test starts, the same things happen as canon, but Naruto's able to answer 3 or 4 questions instead of none. Then Anko breaks through the windows and announces the second part of the tuning exams to the Forest of Death. Chapter 5, the tuning exams, Part 2, the Forest of Death. Now all the teams are at the site of the forest. Anko then goes over the rules, and as soon as he said that killing was allowed, she felt an intense wave of bloodlust aimed at her. But she then turns around and she sees that this kid in a bright orange outfit has a big blade on his back, and that this was the person that the bloodlust is aimed at. And Anko, being Anko, decided to test him. If it sounds like I'm saying chest instead of test, I apologize. She does this to see if he was worth all the bloodlust that's at him. As soon as she tries to get a kunai out of her pouch, Naruto teleports right next to Anko and holds her hand from drawing her kunai while drawing his kunai and holds her at the throat. He did all of this so fluently, so smoothly, that he somehow managed to do that all in one motion. Everyone, including Naruto, was confused. Naruto was screaming at how he did that because despite the fact that he didn't know how he did that, it kind of felt natural to him. Oh, by the way, he did all of this in a second. Naruto then snaps back to reality, insert the Eminem meme right there, and he says, "I wouldn't do that if I were you. If you wanted a proper evaluation of my skills, well, you got it." And you might be wondering, like, wait, what? How do you read his mind? How do you read her mind? Since he learned the Yamanaka clan's jutsu, he kinda had the ability to slightly read into people's minds. He can't read everything, but when they plan on attacking him or someone that's around them, he can kind of pick it up. Excuse me. Anyway, Anko is surprised how the smear Genin could disarm and put her life in danger in only a second. But now that Naruto's closer to her, she starts to notice that the blade on his back and the skull on his waist are starting to look familiar. And the scroller ceiling isn't as big as it is in the thumbnail. Not well, it is, but Naruto used a jutsu on it so he can make a small unnoticeable scroll on his waist. Well, it's still kind of noticeable, but not as noticeable than the big one in the thumbnail. Anyway, so he then remembers that this was Naruto Uzumaki, the person that impressed the third Hokage so much that he allowed Naruto to have the sacred scroll ceiling. He also made a name for himself in the Land of Waves for not only facing off against one of the seven swordsmen of the mist, he also beat one of the strongest that ever lived and got his sword. So he then gets out of the hold via snake substitution and he proceeds to say, "Not bad, kid, not bad." My question is, how do you know what I was thinking? And then he says, let's just say that scrolls are really useful for learning the jutsu. Naruto responds with, everyone hearing this is like, is this kid dumb? Like a 4-year-old would know that, and this apparent genius prodigy said it as if it was so important. But Sasuke, Anko, Sakura, kind of, and some weird person that's been drooling since that performance of speed he made understood what he meant. Anko accepts the answer and tells everyone where they have to go to start the test. Team 7 gets to the moon school and starts the test. Naruto asks the other two people on his team what they should do. Naruto says, we can do it like it was supposed to be and spend a couple days trying to find our school and get to our destination while honing our survival skills. Or use one of my woods jutsu to look out in the sky looking for our school. Get it and then speed off to the place. What do you guys think I should do? Excuse me. They're both shocked at how intelligent his question was. Intellectuals. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I said that. They didn't think about how he could do that. Sakura says to take the easy way out, while Sasuke wants to hone their survival skills and take it the hard way. Naruto then comes up with a good idea. He then teleports all of them to where Anko was, and she was, as Naruto thought, at the destination. Anko says, how the hell did you get here in, she texts her watch, 2 flippin' minutes! Yeah. Let me try that again. Anko says, how the hell did you get here in, she texts her watch, 2 flippin' minutes? That's better. Naruto says, I just put a marker on you when we had that little scuffle. Anko tries not to sucker punch his face for that stunt and says, well, since you guys are the first ones here, you can stay here for a while. Naruto then mentions how they still need the other scroll and that he did this to see if he was at the tower. And Naruto then puts marks all over the place, and then he teleports back to the beginning. Now Team 7 is back to where they started. Sasuke and Sakura are too shocked to speak words, but Sasuke notices that something powerful is coming their way, and he manages to get out of his daze to yell, everyone get away, now! Just then a massive blast of wind goes their way, and Naruto instinctively creates a dome out of wood. Sakura was too scared and didn't move, so she was safely in the dome, while Sasuke jumped as high as he could. But a piece of wood grabs his ankle and pulls him down back to the wood dome with the rest of them. Naruto brings the dome underneath the ground like he did with Gaara and was 500 meters away from where the wind blast came from, and Naruto found out that the source of the blast was right over them. Sakura thinks they're clear as he's about to open her mouth, wood covers it. Naruto sends out a wood clone and has a brief scuffle with that person, if they were even human. Just think of Sasuke versus Orochimaru, but with Naruto as Sasuke. And as Orochimaru is going to bite Naruto's neck, he teleports behind him and shoves his arm through Orochimaru's throat. He then sends out wood to find and get the scroll that he swallowed, which is the one they needed. He gets it, but Orochimaru takes a chance to bite him on his neck. This makes Naruto fall down to the ground, but not before he throws a kunai at him, which turns into a puff of smoke, and all of a sudden, it's wood. The wood covers all of Orochimaru and has him in the wood ball. The wood then goes into a scroll attached to the kunai. Naruto catches it and then falls to the ground. Now instead of Naruto and Sasuke being out cold, it's only Naruto. And yeah, so Orochimaru gave Naruto the curse mark instead of Sasuke. Now I'm not going to have Naruto go down the path of power. Neither am I going to have Sasuke do that, cause it'd be pretty entertaining if Sasuke tried to beat Naruto while Naruto could use wood style. And yeah. But Sasuke still has Kakashi to train with, so he still gets pretty powerful later on. Anyway, where was I? Naruto is now in his mindscape over the next few hours. He meets Kurama and asks if they can be friends, and he says yes, only if he can beat him. Naruto being cocky, accepts the challenge. Surprisingly, Kurama was sweating by the end of the match. He still beat Naruto, but took him mid-difficulty instead of easy. Naruto is pretty upset that he didn't win, but he thinks that they're pretty close in power level and being friends. To everyone, if you hold that notification, my bad. Anyway, if you didn't, just ignore that. To everyone who thought I was going to give this man KCM at 12, as a wise and funny man once said, you got bamboozled. Anyway, I do not apologize for that one. Naruto has noticed that the thing that Orochimaru put on his neck had a bit of sage energy in it. He then tries to master and turn this wicked sage energy into something that is a third sage mode. Excuse me, sorry. Bless me. He then tries to master and turn this wicked sage energy into something that is a third sage mode. It takes him an hour, and he finally has this energy to the same level of skill that he has his third sage mode at. He dubs this his cursed sage mode, and since he purified it, he won't go down the route of darkness that the curse mark does to people, like I mentioned earlier. While all that happened in his mindscape, Sasuke and Sakura are fending off against the sound team. Sakura handles Kin by breaking out of her Genjutsu and placing her under a Genjutsu herself by sucker punching her where the sun doesn't shine. Yeah. Kin got launched up in the sky and was out cold while being in a Genjutsu. Sasuke had taken down Zaku, but he's having trouble with Dosu. But just as Dosu was about to land a sound wave punch in his gut, Naruto has the same marks all over his body, and he has snake-like eyes, which is a sign that he's under control. Naruto then says, "You guys miss me?" He notices the situation and instinctively says, "Curse Sage or Rasengan." And he blitzes Dosu and gets behind him and slams it into his back, throwing him deep into the ground. Naruto then stops his cursed sage mode and, without a word, teleports himself, Sasuke and Sakura to one of the seals in the tower. They were still the first ones there, arriving 5 minutes before Gaara. Then they wait for everyone to be there, and they go on to the preliminary round. That's where the chapter ends. Oh my goodness, this video is at 34 minutes. Longest video I've ever made. Dang. Never thought I'd get past the 20-minute mark, but here I am. Sorry for all the stuttering and weird noises you heard from me. Or just all the weird noises you hear in the background. I apologize for that. Also, I apologize for my voice still not being that deep, as far as I'm aware at least. And the sudden stops was because I heard a weird noise and I had to know what it was. And yeah, Naruto, he's pretty overpowered. And since Sasuke isn't going to betray the village, well, I don't know if he's going to betray the village now I think about it. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make Sasuke betray the village, cause if I did, who would Sasuke go to? Cause Naruto I made it so that Naruto put Orochimaru in a wood binding thing, and unless Sasuke finds a way to break that, there's no way he's getting power from Orochimaru. So I don't think I'm gonna make him go down the path of power. He's still going to try and avenge Itachi, but just in a different way, I guess. Avenge Itachi. Oh my goodness. Kill Itachi. I meant kill Itachi. I don't know why I said avenge Itachi. Yeah. Naruto's pretty overpowered. Of course he would be. He has a scroll ceiling. And I'm pretty excited to be back. It's kind of fun making these videos. Kind of missed it. And, while I do prefer the Rogue Puppet What If instead of this one, this chapter was kind of fun to write. The next time I should be posting something, the next time I should be posting this part is either tomorrow or next week, depending on how I feel. Honestly, knowing myself, until my cousin's leave, I'm probably just gonna upload every week, but each upload will have either a long chapter or 2 chapters in it. Yeah, we'll either have a long chapter or 2 chapters in it. And I am sorry for rambling on this long. And for that's I'm gonna end it. Hope anyone watching this has a great day, and thank you for the increase of views and the 3 subscribers. Noob out. Goodbye.